All right, so first of all, a biome is a large area with similar climates, plants, and animals. So wherever you're having an area of similar climates, for example, take for instance the tropical climate, right? Where you have similar plants and animals, that's what we call biomes. And biomes are found in different places across the earth because there are different living conditions in different parts of the earth. So today we're gonna explore what an ecosystem is. So next one, please.
Okay.
All right, so what is an environment? Let me see the chats lined up, how my tropical forest students do it. They line up the chat, so I don't want it any different. So let's see what anybody has to say what an environment is. What is an environment? Or should I start picking Abriana? All right, good, William. Let's see what else anybody else has to say. Waiting on one more response. I want to know that you're following, you're thinking, and you're engaged.
Come on, Jumin, you're quiet this time around. You're usually talkative.
What you say, Miss? Oh, sorry, Miss, I'm doing something right now.
What is an environment?
One environment is a type of ecosystem an animal lives in. Well, I
just ask you to tell some sentences in type in chat for me.
Hold on, is there a way to...
Okay.
Okay, so that's good, Jumin. You said that environment is the place and things that surround us. Shola,
I'm back, guys. Are you hearing me? Yes, I realized I was. I'm so sorry. I thought it was you.
No, it was you went off for a moment, but it's all right.
All right, so I was asking someone else to type as well what they think an environment is, and I want to be able to see what the other person after William said. So
Jumaine typed something as well. Jumaine, he said that an environment is the place and things around us. So yes, that's correct.
Nice. So one click for me.
All right.
Next, you learn more about environments in grades.
Oh, and very good. Very good. So it's all the physical surroundings on Earth. So it involves other people, plants, animals, the air we breathe, everything around us. So next slide, please. So I'm glad that you guys have a little background information on this, so it won't be any kind of foreign information. We're on the same page. So ecosystems deal with the interaction between living things and their non-living environment. So it's living things with living things and living things with non-living things, yeah? So it's how we interact with each other as well as our surroundings, our environment. All right, next slide, please. Just work with man. All right, so the different ecosystems are, stop right there. So desert ecosystem, rainforest, temperate, grassland, tundra, freshwater, and marine. We're gonna dive right into them. Next slide.
Okay.
So you're looking at the picture, guys. What kind of ecosystem would this
It's an
represent?
oasis.
Okay, and where do you find oasis?
In the desert.
There we go. So we're looking at the desert ecosystem. Next slide.
Okay.
All right. So deserts usually
It's
have,
the desert.
there you go. So the deserts typically has a lot of cacti. And this is because they have adaptations to store water within their trunks, and in they're like big leaves, right? And they're able to store water within so that they can survive within this extremely dry climate. Next one.
Okay.
So this is a desert fox as well. I just want to share this interesting looking creature that maybe none of us will, one day we'll get to see a creature like this, but this is usually found in the desert. Next slide, please. Next one.
Scorpion.
Right. And our friend right here is the
Camel.
right.
Is it one hump or two hump?
I'm not sure which one he or she had, but we'll just imagine. Let's call our camel friend Humpy.
So Camilla. Camilla.
Mila.
Camilla.
All right. Mila Humpy. All right. All right. Next one, please.
Okay.
Skip 2 times. All right. So for the desert ecosystem, skip. As you see me call them out, you can skip, right? So it's usually,
Sniffing butts.
it's usually very dry. Some plants and animals are adapted to store water in their bodies, and some animals actually get water from the food they eat. Yeah? Next one. So let's look at the next ecosystem now. And I'm sure you guys saw this pop up on the page. What is this?
A toucan.
That's what it is, a toucan. Next one.
No, it's a Pokemon. Its name is toucan.
Tiger.
I can't keep up with it. So
It's a cat.
it's a toucan. This is actually a tiger.
A cat.
Next one. This is an orchid. And
Flower.
yeah, this is an orchid.
A flower.
Yes, it is a type of flower. Next picture.
Sorry. Hold on.
That's okay, I'll wait. I love this video.
Venus flytrap.
It
Eats
is a
bugs.
so what
I try assigning my I did. Yeah,
system may be
you're not sending mine?
that now?
Okay.
What happened to the screen?
It looks like she dropped off for a while.
Oh, sorry
so
guys, I just got he had to connect back, so that's my bad. You guys seeing the screen now still, or do I need to share it back over?
not yet, so share again. We understand all these tech problems.
Yeah,
So just skip it 2 times. So 1 time and then the next time.
okay.
So rainforest ecosystem, yes, skip it. So as I call them, just skip through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the home of more than half of the world's plant and animal species, and many natural medicines are found here. And
Yeah,
if you
spider.
you see a spider, I don't know where you see a spider, but
I need to put on my glasses.
that's a fur. You need to put on your glasses. So if you recall some of the stories of our history of the Tainos and the Maroons, they used to always go up into the mountains where we have more of a rainforest ecosystem there, and they would actually get medicinal portions from the herbs found there. So it's known, the rainforest ecosystem is known to have a lot of natural medicines found there. We have a high biodiversity of plants and animals in a rainforest ecosystem. Skip again, please. Right? It's very moist because usually a rainforest ecosystem has very high annual rainfall.
Those are the tall trees.
They usually have tall trees, and trees are usually clumped together as well. There's
The
warm
waterfalls are nice.
very nice, very nice. They have a warm climate throughout the year, but on the other hand, there's low soil nutrients because there's always rainfall, and then plants are always competing for nutrients. So next one, please. We're
They're
gonna
like,
move on.
give me all the nutrients.
Yeah, exactly. They're competing. So now we're looking at some ferns again. So we know that this is probably a forest again, right? So ferns, next one. Right, this is a berry.
No, that's some eggs. Oh, look, it's
No,
a bear.
that was a berry. This one is what?
Oh, it's a raspberry.
Which one is this animal?
It's a deer. A
That's a
baby
deer.
deer. Let's
And
call him Darla. Let's call her
so
Darla.
so Darla. So we had, what was our camel's name again?
Millie?
Camilla.
Oh, I swear we called her Millie.
All right.
Oh, her name is Camilla.
All right. So look at this picture now. Next one. All of these are there. So what kind of forest will we be looking
We
at?
call them Bob and Ben.
Bob and Ben. All right. So what kind of forest are we looking at?
Bob's on the right, Ben's on the left. Oh, that's just no. Is it a meadow?
Stay focused, okay? It's not a meadow. But I do like your imagination because that actually had low grass around the bears. But this is a temperate deciduous forest. So you can skip one time so you can see that word. Take your mouse off the screen, please, so you don't mark it, okay? Thank you so much. So it's a temperate deciduous forest, and we're gonna see why it's called that in a minute. Skip again. So the temperature fluctuates as the seasons change. So what are the seasons, guys?
Spring.
Yeah. Open your mic to William. Thank you. So what are the seasons? Spring.
Winter,
Temperatures fluctuate.
fall.
And fall, right?
Spring,
Right.
summer, autumn, winter.
There you go. Nice. So what happens is that the tree drops in the fall or autumn and grow new ones in spring. So the animals have to adapt to these major changes throughout the year. So in the case for the bears, right? What happens in the winter time? What happens in the winter time with bears?
They hibernate.
They hibernate. Exactly. Next one, please. Some animals migrate, hibernate, or grow fur during winter months. So we're going to be looking at our next ecosystem. So it's deciduous because, stay right there. It's deciduous because what? What's the particular information that makes it deciduous? I wanted to take a wild guess. Nobody can guess that one? All right, I'll help you out, no problem.
What you say, miss?
Oh, you didn't hear. So I was asking, what is making this forest deciduous? What's the particular term that makes it, what's the particular function in this forest that makes it deciduous?
It dies, then goes back. It dies, then grows back.
All right, so leaves fall and then they're regenerated in the spring. Nice, wonderful. So this one says plants, so the difference between the deciduous forest and the rainforest are that plants are spaced further apart. You can skip, man. And it also has a richer soil because they're spaced further apart. So the grassland ecosystem now should be dominated by what, guys?
I see a cow.
Don't see no cow. What is dominating the grassland?
Come on, guys. Abriana and William, you guys can use your mics and the chats as well. We don't want to just hear Drumain talking.
I'm talking.
So, Abriana, what do you think Shola is asking you guys is in the ecosystem grassland? What you guys see a lot? What you guys see?
Cow right here.
What? Use the chat. You can use the chat.
Yes, what is that you're pointing at?
That white dot.
What is it's in the name itself. It should be dominated by grass, right, guys? All right, next one. I don't want to stress you out, but you guys have to think, man. So the vegetation is dominated by grasses. It's usually moist and humid. There are 3 types of grassland ecosystems. So you have the savannas, which are most moist. You have the temperate grasslands, and you have steppes. And we're going to look at some in a minute. So next one. So the grassland covers 40% of the Earth's surface and spans across tropical and temperate regions. Why this happens is because grass is usually the pioneer species to occupy a certain area. As long as there are conditions for grass to grow, it will grow. So they're usually found across the tropical and temperate regions as well. And it's usually the main habitat for grazing animals and farming. And I'm so sorry that you guys weren't in my global environmental issues class this morning, because we were looking at what overgrazing causes. And usually when there's a certain level of overgrazing, we have land degradation, which adversely affects climate change. Next one. So the grasslands are usually where we have grazing, and it usually has fertile soil. All right. So the next ecosystem we'll be looking at. So we've covered, so stay right there. So we've covered which ones, guys? Tell me now. Let's do a short little recap.
That's Elo. That's Zila. That's Cheetor. That's Reno. That's Dula. That's
You're not going to spend
Leon.
class naming out animals, you know.
That's Jacob.
Animal name, Drumain.
Katina.
Drumain?
Yeah.
We're not going to spend time learning animal names, okay? What is more important is remembering the ecosystems, all right? That all these animals are found in. So help me out now, guys. Which ecosystems have we looked at so far? Type it in the chat.
Forest.
Which ones? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to type what some of them in the chat. Narika, you're on the line with me, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Guys, we went through a few of them already, you know, some of them we went through some really, like, one of the first ecosystems we went through was hot and dry. Anybody remembers that? Anybody remembers the name of that hot and dry ecosystem that we went through?
All right, so Drumain says you have the forest and the desert.
Mm-hmm.
The fluctuating forest, not so much.
Forgot the D word.
Which D word? Oh, the deciduous. So it's a temperate deciduous forest. But skip back for me, please, Narika. I just want to see if the pictures were there for the grassland. Bye, Amar. Skip back for me. I just want to see if the picture is there. Oh, it's not there.
No.
All right, probably class I'll try to show them. I had it there though. All right, so we're seeing these animals, guys. We're seeing these animals, right? Which ecosystem do you think we're gonna be looking at now? These look like animals from which movie?
Lion King.
Right. So they look like animals from the Lion King. All right, skip again. These animals are usually found in Africa. So skip one more time, right? And we're gonna be looking at the
Africa.
You're right. So continue, please.
Oh, better.
All right. So usually within savannas, right? Usually within savannas, you have a lot of acacia trees.
Hi there. Hi.
Just mute your mic. Mute your mic, please. Or Narika, mute their mic for me, please.
Okay, I'll mute them.
Don't worry.
All right, so we're still at grasslands, you know. So you remember those animals, right? And we spoke about the savannas. So savannas are usually in Africa. They can be found across Africa, right? And also we have the acacia tree that are usually in savannas. And something typical of savannas is, because remember now, for every single ecosystem, there has to be adaptations for the plants and animals to survive. So click again for me, please.
Okay.
So this, no, skip back. So skip back here. So on acacia trees, they have these needle-like structures. And there are a lot of acacia trees in Jamaica, and they're sometimes found closer to the coastal line. And they usually have needles, and what they do is store water within their needle-like structure on their branches. And that is why it's so difficult sometimes to climb these kind of trees. Which other tree have needles on them? Can anybody help me out with the needle-like trees?
A rose.
Yes, rose. Well,
Lime tree.
It's not
that's
a
a shrub.
tree, it's a plant, and it's a plant, but
They're
A
shrubs.
lime tree.
A lime tree. That's right. That's right. I love that answer. So let's move on to
Spiky flower plant.
yeah, so now we're going to be looking at the temperate grasslands, right? So it's the same, we're still in the same grasslands, but we looked at savannas. But what you notice about the temperate grasslands? You don't see any tree, right? And it's just a lot of this type of grass. It's just, let's try to pick up a picture for the temperate grassland.
okay, all right.
Thank you. Right. So this is
Play some more pictures.
Huh? Give me a moment, please. Right, so normally buffaloes are found in the temperate grasslands, horses, all of those. Let's move right along, please. Skip again for me.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to put it as fast as I can. So the next one that I had mentioned was a steppe grassland. And usually on the steppe grassland, you can skip again.
Steppe.
Yeah, okay, the steppe grassland. So just click as I call them out. So usually you have the
It's not going to say.
forget right, there you go. There you go. So you have the save brush, the
Miss,
save.
Miss, may I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
What's the abomination of a gazelle on the left?
It's not an abomination, but it's called the sega antelope. So next one. So it's not an abomination. Some animals are just different, and we haven't even seen anything yet. So let's look quickly at what a tundra ecosystem is. So when you hear the word
It's a
tundra,
cold place.
awesome. So it's not a warm place, it's not a desert, and it's not a forest. Next one. There you go. Next one. So the tundra is found just below the ice caps of the Arctic. It's the coldest of all biomes, and it's very dry. So dry is a very relative word, because usually if there's snow or any type of rain precipitation, it usually just stays on top of the soil. It doesn't get absorbed into the earth. So that's what we call dry, right? It's treeless, and it's usually covered by snow. It has very little rainfall and extremely slow evaporation of moisture that sits above the soil. And it's difficult for plants to survive. So usually you have mosses, you have some lichens, and we're going to show you some right now.
Wait, Miss, were you trying to do a trick question on us?
Mm-hmm. No worries. Let's save the question still afterwards, okay? All right. So some of the plants and some of the animals you can find amongst the tundra. This is a poppy. Next one. All right, this is a mushroom.
Mushroom.
Mm-hmm. I'm not remembering what this plant is called, but that's a parse flower. So these are some of the flowers that you can find amongst the tundra. Then we have some tundra animals. And there we go, the wild yak, the polar bears. That's where you find your penguins. That's where you find all these animals that have adaptations to take on the cold. Next one. So now we've come out of that and we're going into the water. So we're looking at freshwater ecosystems. So there are two types of freshwater ecosystems. You have the standing water, like lakes, ponds, swamps, or the bogs. And you have running water, like the rivers, the spring, the stream, any type of moving water, you call running water, right? There's a rich biodiversity of plants and animals there. And we usually use it for drinking purposes or what do we use water for?
Come on, guys, there's a lot of things.
A lot of things, and just name some.
Everyday things that we do all the time.
Drinking,
All the time.
bathing,
Yes.
Stuff, baking, cooking, as I hear right there, washing your hair, everything. Yeah. So next one. So let's look at some plants and animals. So you'll find turtles. I bet you guys didn't know that you could find turtles in freshwater too.
Yes,
So you have
yes.
turtles, you have the trout and other freshwater fish, you have otters and frogs. Love
Where are the
these
spikes
things.
on the pufferfish?
Huh?
Where are the spikes on that pufferfish?
I'm not
Where are the
hearing.
spikes?
Oh, on the trout, there's no spikes.
Pufferfish.
Oh, on the pufferfish. Well, the spikes usually come out when it is disturbed, so it doesn't usually show spikes. Yeah. So the
I caught a pufferfish once.
Oh,
as I was saying, bullfrogs love water. So if you're gonna put down any type of create any type of ecosystem with a lot of water, you'll find a lot of frogs going there. And if you realize, you'll see birds as well as in the ecosystem, because it's everybody relating to each other. Yeah. So let's move on. Some plants you can see as well is the umbrella. I can't remember the specific name for this one, but if you sometimes go to some riverside, I'm sure you'll see this plant. Yeah. Next one. And usually have water lilies. So let's look at the marine ecosystem. The marine ecosystem is only different from the freshwater ecosystem because of its salty nature. It is the largest biome, and it consists of 5 major oceans across the world. And usually the sunlit zone, which is closest to the surface, receives enough sunlight for photosynthesis to take place. And that means that plants can grow there and become food for sea creatures, including the plankton, dolphins, whales, and many fish. Next slide.
Yeah, I also want to let them know that the way how, I also personally, the way how this ecosystem is so vast, there are a lot of plants, animals, and even microorganisms that we have yet to even discover in this ecosystem.
Oh, yes.
As yet.
Oh yes. And as I said, they're divided by zones, right? So they're usually divided into vertical zones. So there are areas that you can't even dive to even see what kind of plant life and animal life is in the ocean. And there are areas in the ocean that you can't cross as well, right? Like the Bermuda Triangle. No one, there hasn't been anyone to yet go to the Bermuda Triangle and get out alive. I don't know why, but the ocean is such a wonderful ecosystem that is so vast, and there are things waiting to be discovered and still things that remain a mystery. I find that the ocean is like the mystery of God, right? It's so mystical. So some of the animals that we can see, if you're looking at the diagram, just scan over it a bit before we skip next. So you have sea stars, bacteria as well as in the ocean, seaweeds, bivalves, crabs, fishes of all size and forms. That's their home. Dolphins, coral reefs, and other bryozoans. So skip it one more time for me. So here we go. Never thought about this, right? The seahorse. Next one. And again, I said the corals, the birds as well. Because as I said, it's not just about what is underwater. It's about whomever is relating. And we are a part of this ecosystem. We're a part of every ecosystem because humans go everywhere, right? So next slide. So here we go. We're at the end of this, guys. And we're going to recap. What is an ecosystem? And we will know from before that an ecosystem is an environment where living things interact with themselves and their non-living environment. So next one. So let's answer some questions, guys. So type in the chat. No shouting out now. Just type in the chat A, B, C, or D. Which ecosystem has low biodiversity and is the coldest of all biomes? Type in the chat, guys. 9.
So see everyone else.
So C, right? Good job, good job, good job. All right, we have to be quick on the next one then, so I can see everybody's answer. All right, so click it one time. So it's actually C indeed. So there we go, next one. So which ecosystem has a warm climate throughout the year, a high diversity of plants and animals, but poor soil? Type in the chat, guys, A, B, C, or D. All right.
Rainforest.
I told you to type in the chat, you know. Don't shout
Oh, I
out.
was in the bathroom, sorry.
Okay, don't shout out. Type in the chat. All right, so it's just as William and Jermaine said, it's the rainforest, it's B. So click it 2 times.
Okay.
And we're almost at the end, so don't worry, okay? All right, so here's our activity for tomorrow's class. You're gonna choose an ecosystem and find out more about it. So grab your pencils, grab your paper, grab your books. So here we go. You're gonna write a short poem, a short story, or a song from the point of view of any of the ecosystems. So the piece should be about the ecosystem describing itself and where it lives. So this just means in simple terms that you're gonna introduce yourself as the ecosystem, you're gonna describe yourself as the ecosystem, and you're going to state where you can be found, where you live, all right? The different homes that you have. So you have to research them and find out where this ecosystem is. Is it found in Asia? Is it found in the Caribbean? Where is it, right? It should include factual information about the ecosystem. And I'm looking forward, guys, to hearing your creative pieces tomorrow. I will be having mine as well, so skip it 1 time so we can see them again. Just state which one you're going to be doing right now in the chat. Skip it 1 time for me. So I can, no, go forward.
Oh.
Right. So state which one you're going to do right now so I can decide which one I'm going to do as well, because I want to do one too. Which one of the water ecosystems do you mean?
Freshwater.
Okay, so you will do, William will do Tundra, okay? So you're going to do freshwater.
Which one Abriana's gonna do?
I wonder which one Abriana's going to do too. Abriana, which one you're going to do?
Miss Vice.
Which one? The rainforest?
Yes, Miss.
All right, you're going to do tropical forest. All right. So I guess, which one, guys, which one do you think I should take on? I can't take on freshwater. Which one should I take on?
Tundra.
No, someone took the Tundra already.
Oh.
The temperate deciduous forest. That's what you guys think?
Okay.
All right. So, do you want to take one as well?
Me?
Do marine.
Which one hasn't been taken as it? Tropical forest has been taken? Or
Marine.
Desert,
okay,
grassland,
I'll do the marine then. Sure, I'll do a marine. I'll come tomorrow with a marine in presentation for something to do, a song or something for you guys. Sure.
Poem or story. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It was a wonderful pleasure. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'm sure I went into the other session. So sorry about that. But I'm looking forward to hearing all the different things that we're going to share tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.